Hey everyone! Today we are officially decorating for the 2025 holiday season and I couldn't be more excited. We are going to be decking the halls of my living room today. This year is all about a cozy cottage and vintage Christmas. I can't wait to share all the details with you. Let's go ahead and get started. I've had my Christmas tree that I usually use in this space for almost 13 years and it is still beautiful and I do still have it. However, after we remodeled in the living room this year, that tree was a bit too wide to fit in this corner. I was able to find this 7.5-foot slim tree on sale and I actually ordered mine through the Navy Exchange, but it is actually sold at Home Depot. I do plan to keep my old tree and see if one of my girls would like to have it when they have a place of their own, or use it in the future when my dining room space, which is right now a playroom, is no longer serving that purpose. Next, we are going to work on my fireplace mantle. I have styled this so many different ways in years past, but the asymmetrical look is my favorite. I used a mix of the Norfolk pine garlands from Kirkland's and then some from Hobby Lobby to create this look. These command straps that I am using here are so helpful. They really did a great job holding my garland in place, and we do use our fireplace, and I haven't had any issues with my garland coming loose. As long as you follow the guidelines for removal, I have never had any issues with them taking off my paint. One of my biggest tips is to add in other greenery to your garlands to give it more of a natural look. I like to use dried eucalyptus in mine. I create a focal point on the corner of the mantle using some larger green stems, which are from the At Home store. And this year I also included some berry stems, which are from At Home as well, but unfortunately I bought these last spring and I have not seen them again since. You could use some other red berries. I have seen some really pretty ones at Michael's in place of these berry stems and get a very similar look. My stocking hangers are from Amazon and they just slide right underneath the garland, which I love because they don't take up any extra space on the shelf. To style the mantel shelf, I added this candelabra and then 2 brass candlesticks. I wanted the greenery to be the star here, so I didn't want to add too much. I thought that the mirror needed a little something at the top, so I made my own swag using 2 Norfolk pine stems. I used a green pipe cleaner to secure them in the middle. I then made a fabric bow with some leftover fabric that I had from a summer project. I encourage you to pull out pieces from other seasons. There are no rules when decorating your home. I love mixing patterns and textures in my spaces. Don't be afraid to try something. If you don't like it, you can always change it. On my stair railings, I use cedar garlands, and these are the My Texas House cedar garlands from Walmart. I bought 2 of these last year, and then I also bought 2 this year, way back in September. I am mixing in some of these rice stems from Walmart that I already had, and these are very affordable, so they are a great option to add some variation in your holiday garland. I had mentioned that I wanted a vintage but timeless look for Christmas this year. I adore florals, and baby's breath is one of my favorites because it is so delicate. I decided to add some to my garlands. For some color, I found these frosted berry picks at Michael's, and I am just clipping off the leaves before I add them into the garland. For For the couch, most of the pillow covers are ones that I already had. The new additions this year are the green fluoro pillow and then the one that says Mary. I tried to pull together pieces that I already had and buy less. Plus, I love to be creative and come up with ways to style old pieces in new ways. I know that the colors and patterns I use this year may be a bit different, but I do feel that my holiday decorating really reflects my style and what I love. I truly felt that I was being thoughtful and intentional with how I selected pieces to create a cozy, warm, and welcoming space for the holidays. I believe that your home should reflect what brings you joy and be arranged in a way that you love. That might mean that others may not like it, and that's okay, but for me, what is important is that each time I walk through the front door, it feels like home. So this holiday season, I encourage you to decorate with your heart and create a space that reflects what you love. To style the coffee table, I started with this thrifted tablecloth that I used like a table runner. This swan planner is one of my favorites. She sat in my cart for the longest time before I finally purchased her a little over a year ago from Antique Farmhouse. Although this one is currently sold out, I can link a similar one that is white instead of gray, but still just as beautiful. I filled the planter with 4 peony stems from Michael's and 4 juniper picks from Etsy. Ornaments make really beautiful bowl fillers, so if you have a few extras, add some ribbon to them for a pop of color and then style them in a pretty bowl. This book has some really beautiful photographs. I looked through the entire thing and loved every single one. Decorating for Christmas is all in the details. These ornament hooks are so pretty and they add something unexpected to your tree. I have a collection of a couple different ornaments in different shapes, sizes, and colors. Remember when you are decorating your tree to vary the shape and size of the ornaments. We also add some special ornaments to the tree as a family right after Thanksgiving to finish it completely, so I always leave room for those. This year, I thrifted a few teacups to add to my tree. I love the color and charm that they bring. Just add some ribbon and they are ready for hanging. When I decorate my tree, I start with the beaded gold garland and then layer in my larger ornaments and then fill in with the smaller ones. I added a few bows, some burgundy velvet, blue chiffon, and cream lace. My topper has been the same for a couple years, and I actually made a bow for the top underneath the star from an old curtain this year. You all might remember these book page flowers that I made back in a video, I believe at the end of the summer. I just set them in my tree so that I could reuse them for other things after the holidays. They add the perfect amount of vintage charm to my tree. An affordable and simple way to decorate for the holidays is to use your gift wrap as part of your decor. The patterns and colors are beautiful, so I added in what I had. I actually need to pick up a little bit more to put in the basket, and then I just set it by the tree. I always have my girls in mind when I decorate, so I added this little Santa mailbox for them. Elsie already added a letter to Santa. As many of you know, I am a former kindergarten teacher and I adore books. I thought it would be fun to to add some of the girls' favorites to this basket so that we could read them over the next several weeks leading up to Christmas. Just a simple way to add festive touches that are also useful. I had one last finishing touch that I wanted on my tree. I added some baby's breath that I also used in the garland just to tie it all together. I was really excited to bring out this bin for the holidays this year. I actually didn't get a chance to put any of these out last year because I just didn't have a place for them, and Oakley was still pretty young and there weren't many spots that I could put my houses out. So this year I have my antique hutch in my living room, and we didn't have that last year. So I am adding all of these to my hutch and I cannot wait to style them. My collection of houses has grown over time. Many of them are from my mom and dad, so they are extremely special to me. Incorporating those nostalgic pieces makes the holidays feel extra special and cozy. This little corner in my living room with my thrifted antique hutch is one of my favorite places to style. It's such a cozy little spot. I am adding in some peonies mixed with some Norfolk pine stems in my hanging basket. I don't really overhaul my spaces for the holidays. I add in seasonal pieces, but mostly work around what I have, which is why you see things like my plants in my spaces because, well, I just don't have the ability to pack everything away for the holidays. So I find ways to balance what has to remain with seasonal pieces. To make room for my Christmas houses in my hutch, all I did was pull out a few of the pottery pieces that I had in there, and I actually just packed those away in the container that the Christmas houses came out of. I love my vintage linens in this hutch, so I did just leave those and styled my houses around them. I didn't want any more greenery over here in this corner, so I decided to add these paper stars to the top of my basket stack. They are still festive, but don't compete with the other greenery in the space. I am not changing too much over here on my shelves. Again, I try to just change out a few little pieces here and there. I brought in some burgundy and green books and added in a pretty ornament to my pedestal bowl, and then I am going to finish everything with a sweet little brass deer. I changed out the books on the other side of the shelves, but that side is hidden by the tree, so I didn't really add anything else over there. I picked up these pillows at Target. I just loved the blue stripe on them. I will likely leave these in my living room year round, but they tied in nicely with the blue that I was using for the holidays. Let's take a final look at how everything came together. In this week's Cozy Chats, I wanted to share just a few simple and easy ideas for holiday decorating that are affordable. As always, I hope that you found some inspiration for your home. I would love to hear about the colors and styles that you all are using for the holidays this year in the comments. Next week, we are continuing the holiday decorating in my kitchen. If you are new here, I hope that you will subscribe and stay a while. I am looking forward to seeing you all next week.